Right then, you lot. Forget those complicated spreadsheets and fancy agricultural degrees. Today we're talking about something dead simple but bloody brilliant: intercropping. Specifically, how to turbocharge your banana farm without turning it into some sort of chemical wasteland. Now I know what you're thinking, bananas. Really? That's far too tropical for a bloke like me. But listen, even I can appreciate a good banana, especially when it's grown alongside crops that make the whole operation more productive and less of a pain in the backside. We're gonna delve into the best companion plants to give those bananas a fighting chance, from the layout to the watering and everything in between. You'll be able to squeeze every last bit of profit out of your land, and all while being kinder to the environment. It's a win-win, really, much like my strategy for winning over the planning committee eventually. So, stick around because this is going to be a bumpy ride filled with practical advice, some questionable jokes, and hopefully a newfound appreciation for the art of growing bananas. You know, without wanting to rip your hair out. Now, some of you might be thinking, why bother with all this intercropping nonsense? Can't I just plant my bananas and be done with it? Well, you can, but frankly, that's about as sensible as driving a sports car in first gear all the time. You're missing out on a whole lot of potential. See, growing bananas all by their lonesome can be a recipe for disaster. First off, those banana plants are hungry buggers. They'll suck the nutrients out of the soil faster than a politician can break a promise. Before you know it, you've got yourself a barren wasteland that wouldn't even grow weeds. And let me tell you, a barren wasteland is no good to anyone, except maybe a film crew looking for a post-apocalyptic setting. Then there's the issue of pests. When you've got a monoculture, it's like ringing the dinner bell for every single pest within a 10-mile radius. They'll descend upon your precious crop like a plague of locusts, leaving you with nothing but a pile of mushy, bug-ridden disappointment. Alright, now that you understand why companion planting is essential, let's talk about which plants are actually worthy of sharing a field with your precious bananas. Because let's face it, not every plant is up to the task. You wouldn't invite a pack of rabid badgers to a garden party, would you? First up, we've got legumes, the nitrogen-fixing ninjas of the plant world. Think beans, lentils, and even peanuts. These chaps have a special superpower. They can pull nitrogen from the air and convert it into a form that plants can actually use. It's like having your very own fertilizer factory right there in the field, and the bananas absolutely love it. Next, we've got the pest-repelling powerhouses. Plants like marigolds, garlic, and onions might not sound very exciting, but they're the bouncers of the banana patch, keeping those pesky insects away with their pungent aromas. Trust me, you'd rather have a whiff of garlic breath than deal with a swarm of aphids, wouldn't you? And let's not forget about the ground-covering guardians like clover and vetch. These low-growing heroes help to suppress weeds, retain moisture in the soil, and prevent erosion. Right then, you lot, let's get down to brass tacks. We've talked about why companion planting is brilliant and which plants to choose, but how do you actually put it all together? It's like assembling a flat-pack wardrobe, only with more manure and fewer Allen keys. Step 1, and I can't stress this enough, is to plan. Before you even think about picking up a spade, you need a solid plan of attack. Consider your climate, soil type, available space, and the specific needs of your chosen companion crops. It's like planning a military operation, but instead of tanks and troops, you've got beans and bananas. Next up, spacing. You don't want your plants crammed together like commuters on the tube during rush hour. Give them some breathing room. Bananas, being the divas they are, need plenty of space to spread out their leaves and soak up the sun. As a general rule of thumb, you'll want to plant them about 6 to 10 feet apart, depending on the variety. Now for the companion crops, you can get a bit more creative with your spacing. Smaller plants like legumes or herbs can be tucked in between the banana rows. Right then, let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, water and nutrients. Now I know what you're thinking, Jeremy, this is getting a bit too technical for me. Can't we just stick to blowing things up and driving fast cars? And to that I say, patience, my friend. Even the most petrol-headed among us can appreciate the importance of a well-hydrated and well-fed plant. First up, water. Bananas, as we've established, are thirsty buggers. They need a consistent supply of water, especially during the hot summer months. But be careful not to overdo it. Overwatering can lead to root rot and other fungal diseases, which is about as appealing as a plate of cold, soggy chips. Aim for deep, infrequent watering, allowing the soil to dry out slightly between waterings. Now let's talk about everyone's least favorite topic, pests and diseases. These pesky blighters can wreak havoc on a banana plantation, leaving you with nothing but a pile of mushy, disease-ridden disappointment. But don't despair. Intercropping can help you fight back against these miniature menaces without resorting to chemical warfare. First up, let's talk about prevention. A healthy, diverse ecosystem is far less susceptible to pests and diseases than a monoculture. Think of it like this. If you only eat one type of food, you're more likely to get sick than if you have a varied diet. The same principle applies to plants. Next, let's talk about natural predators. By attracting beneficial insects, such as ladybugs, lacewings, and praying mantises, you can create an army of tiny assassins to take care of those pesky aphids, mites, and caterpillars. Right then, you lot, we've talked about the ins and outs of intercropping, from choosing the right companion plants to managing pests and diseases. But now it's time to talk about the good stuff, the harvest. After all, what's the point of all this hard work if you don't get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, or in this case, the bananas? Now, one of the great things about intercropping is that it allows for multiple harvests throughout the year. While your bananas are busy ripening, you can be harvesting your companion crops, providing a steady stream of income, and keeping your taste buds entertained. It's like having a year-round farmer's market right on your doorstep. When it comes to harvesting bananas, timing is everything. You want to pick them when they're plump, firm, and just starting to turn yellow. Don't wait until they're overripe and mushy unless you're planning on making banana bread, in which case, carry on. Right then, you lot, we've reached the end of our intercropping adventure. We've covered a lot of ground, from the importance of companion planting to the joys of harvesting. But before we go, I want to leave you with a few final thoughts. Intercropping isn't just about boosting yields and increasing profits, although those are certainly welcome benefits. It's about creating a more sustainable and resilient food system. By working with nature, rather than against it, we can produce more food using fewer resources while also protecting the environment. It's a win-win situation for everyone, except maybe for the pesticide companies, but let's not dwell on that. So there you have it, my friends. Everything you need to know to start your own intercropping revolution, one banana plant at a time. So, there you have it, intercropping. It's like the agricultural equivalent of finding a tenner in your old coat pocket. Unexpected, but bloody brilliant. Who knew that growing a few extra plants alongside your bananas could make such a difference? Now, I know some of you are probably still skeptical. You're thinking, Jeremy, you're all talk. You wouldn't know a banana plant from a beetroot. And you're probably right, but that's not the point, is it? The point is, intercropping works.